All right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, and good night, everyone. Just gonna have a video here of the 2024 recap, and probably mainly focusing on the past couple of months, December and November, where I resumed trading after about 7 month break. But I resumed with a paper trading account of 30,000 US dollars with a broker called Pro Real Time. Um, it's been pretty good so far since I got back. As you can see there, made 14, little under 1500 in December and 1000 in November. So I've one large red day there, which is more than I like. Aside from that, it's been quite steady, I have to say. Now, looking at some of my trades here, I've kind of piled some of these into, this is November here and December. Um, so let me just make sure everyone can see, because my screen recorder is recording a TV monitor, and it's only recording like the maybe about half or maybe two-thirds of the actual TV screen itself, and I don't know how to change it. So I'm just having to make sure that I can see on my OBS here, on my laptop screen, that you are able to see the full picture of what I'm talking about. So this is how I kind of manage my how I would break down my trades and my strategies. Um, I need to get rid of the line through that is panicked by. But I've put in my trades, and I've totted up how I've done, so you can see straight away in the face there's 936 in the red on listed longs. It improved in December. I had some swing trade successes on some of the Bitcoin plays. But the month prior, I was kind of experimenting with some swing trades, and a couple of them went very wrong. In particular, Wolf actually was one that just dropped almost immediately after I entered, and it broke down through the consolidation range that it had formed, and yeah, I took a 200 something dollar loss on it. So yeah, it's but since then, yeah, the swings have improved. So overall, as you can see on the right hand side, my shorting has been very successful. I've been having most of my success on parabolic moves and listed day ones. Just basically when the stock goes parabolic, first green day, say a gap, and it just the momentum traders jump in, and they drive the price up, and maybe just some short squeezes as well. And then I'm trying to be patient and wait for that real short squeeze to happen. The extension in the candles, and a huge increase in volume, to kind of exhaust out the momentum traders and the short sellers. And then it's obviously, in an ideal world, you want to be getting an entry in and around there. But I'll tell you, it's a very, very dangerous strategy, and it can go very wrong very quickly. There's been one or two trades within that day one, where I allowed my risk to get out of control, where at one point I was over, I think, $900 down on a position, and I was on another position, I was down, I think, about $400 or $500. So for me, it's not good enough to allow that to happen. It's a loss of discipline and self-control. Now the trades did turn out right. I stayed adding to the position, but I think one of the situations was probably a little bit unrealistic in that I had added to about a $16,000 position. Now with an account size of maybe say 2,000, if I go back with real funds and I'm allowed margin of 4 times or 6 times, I'm not going to be able to take a position that size. Also, there's the question of, can I locate the shares to short, and is there enough, or what is the cost of the locates? Um, but generally speaking, my trading has been good, aside from a couple of hiccups. So I'm very glad that I'm coming back here with this patient approach and just using a simulated account, because in the past I was just kind of saving up, scrounging a few $100 together and trying to get back into trading as quickly as possible. But now I've kind of mellowed a little bit and I don't have that massive FOMO and sense of urgency. I do have a sense of urgency, but I don't have the um, I'm not so um, desperate to get back, because I think that's the mistake that I was making. Um, it's much um, more sensible to develop your system and your process, and to find out where your weaknesses are as a trader, where your vulnerabilities are, psychologically, emotionally, and then you can fix that in a safe environment. And once you've kind of ironed out that and removed the weaknesses from your trading, then you're left with winners. You're left with small losers and small winners and big winners, and you don't have the big losers anymore. So that's the key. I feel in a good place at the moment. I'm currently in a position on RGTI. So looking at RGTI, it's extremely extended, but it hasn't had an extreme volume kind of blow off day, so to speak. You could say that here was this day and here, but because it put in these 2 days here, I felt that this wasn't going to panic sell off. So, and then it was gapping up. So I took a shot at it for yet another multi-day breakout. But it is extremely extended now. But I find if a stock is hanging around within shooting distance of $20, if it gets over that 20, um, I find that it tends to just go for 30. It's if it breaks 20, it's going to go to 30 almost. Now, obviously, I have my risk in place and so on. But I entered down here, started off with 25 shares, 1658, just kind of feeler, and then added to 125 shares then at 1675. If I were to break it into the 1 minute chart here, so back here, so this is where I'm getting involved. So my average here is here. You can see it on Pro Real Time. It's telling me I have 130 shares remaining at $17. So you can see I was getting in here at the open. Let's just do the 5 minute for a minute. So I'm getting in here. It dips at the open. Heavy enough volume at the open, which is standard enough for multi-day runners, but it was slightly gapping up from the previous day, the red day that it had put in prior. So when it's bobbing up and down here and it's not far from its highs, it can come a point where it is. I have a trend line drawn in here, so it's kind of setting these higher lows, and it has a kind of set resistance area of a kind of a, if you want to call it a channel, at around $18, $18.20. Now there is a previous high from a while back, a few days prior, which is at 1930-ish area. It was a brief kind of spike at the open. But generally speaking, I felt like if this can get close to 18, 18, 20 and over that, there's a good chance that we're going to head for 20. So sure enough, this is what's happened. The blue line here is just my entry average. Pro Real Time will put in a blue line here to tell me where I'm at. So if I take a position here and then I add to my position later, my average, that blue line will be drawn up a bit to let me know where I got in. So I really like the platform. It's given me a great chance to test the waters with a significant amount of money, 30,000 euros here it starts me with, and I have it up to over 2,500 gains since the 14th of October. Not quite enough to earn a living yet, unless you're living in maybe one of those cheaper countries in Europe, such as maybe Portugal, or Southeast Asia, Thailand, one of those places, Vietnam. You could survive on $1,000 a month. But in any case, it's been consistent enough so far for me. I added to my position here. I do think I could have added a bit earlier, and when we got this zone here where it was consolidating in around the VWAP level, and then it came out of here strongly, I could have added here, I think, because it was trying to choose a direction then, and I think it was kind of a crucial kind of period here, whether it was going to start going lower here. I felt if it was starting to go lower here, would have sold off weekly in a weak way, and might have killed a lot of the momentum on that potential breakout, but it didn't. It went higher, and then it was pretty much the breakout was on now. So it's gapping up, and I'm going to start locking in, but I won't. I'm going to try and see if this can get to 30 and if I can still be holding some. But of course, I don't want to get too greedy, but I still want to see if I can maximize my profits. I did take some off here, so as I said, I added to another 25 shares to bring it up to 150 shares at yesterday afternoon, but I quickly kind of sold 10 shares here, and then I sold another 10 here at 19.12 just before it had a pretty heavy crack of about $1, and so I was glad to actually get that before that crack happened. It just looked like it was stalling. It was quite extended on the day, so it is kind of a sensible time to take profits coming into the close as well, just to lock something in. But it's nice to see that's gone higher. So yeah, it's in a hot sector, RGTI. There's other plays as well in that sector, and I've been focusing mainly on short selling for the day since I got back trading, and as you can see by my stats that I was showing you earlier, it has been my most successful strategies, the short selling. But the swing trades that I took on the Bitcoin plays last month have given me confidence that I have a sense of what I'm doing with some of these now, and I kind of know how to read them. So if we look at which ones did I play, was it Mara, Riot, BTBT? Have a look. So Bitcoin was heading for 100,000 in and around here, and the Bitcoin stocks were going along with it. So I'm actually getting long when it's. I tried it there initially. I think I lost $50, but here I'm back in and I'm swinging it, and I actually added up here, and then I took profits up around here, up around this level, 506, yeah, in the fives. So it had this kind of day where it was these couple of days where it was up at the top end of this bounce, I suppose. I did think there was a chance it was going to go, but when it's kind of started stalling Bitcoin in around 100 and it started coming down, I was like, okay, I'll just lock in. Small loss there, but overall it was a winner. Um, or maybe the BT one was the one where it was actually break even. I let it run a bit too long. But the other ones were CLSK, where I got nice profits on. Yeah, so here, and then I'm locking in this day here. So I got a bit of experience basically on the Bitcoin plays, and uh, it's just giving me an idea as to how I can play these breakout plays and swing trades. So yeah, going forward, I'm definitely going to be bringing in the swing trading and breakout multi-day breakouts and so on, because there's been quite a few multi-day breakouts in the that you can really grow your account with. For example, SOUN, like if you look here, like this was an AI sector, which is another hot sector, and there's a breakout day here uh, over 770-ish. It runs to 850, and then we have, you could say, another little breakout here, but then it has these 2 days here, and then it breaks and it's over $10, and then it shoots from 10 to 13 to 15 in a couple of days. All right, and then we have this setup here where, okay, you think it's quite extended, so is it going to pull back or not? But you get this first green day bounce day here after a couple of days pulling back, and then you have this strong day here where it breaks out again. It's a multi-day breakout over 1610, but you can kind of sometimes read these in advance of the breakout. So what you can do is you can no, not that. So you can draw trend lines. So oh yeah, sorry, it's over here. Just bear with me a second. So you can draw trend lines basically. So you can go objects, lines, line, and so basically, like if you want to say like here, you know, and it's a breakup of this trend. So you can be getting along here at the 1380s, high 13s, in anticipation that this has more in it and that it can continue. So yeah, like I feel like just being purely short biased is a mistake in a market where there's so much upside potential on these hot stocks, hot sectors. So like that's SOUN, DJT. Actually, just going back to SOUN, I think I remember the break of $8 was one really big opportunity. Yeah, I think it must have been just here. Yeah. I remember back in November, thinking that this was going to be a big one, but it did pull back for a bit. But you can see it continued. DJT, another big runner recently, especially into the election. So you can see Monday 7th of October is the start of the run, I've noted, kind of here, and it's just running, running, running. It has this breakout here, a multi-day breakout after some pullback and consolidation. Um, I traded it with mediocre success on this one. Overall, I think I'm green on it. Trading it short and long. But here, this day I actually did get caught out trading it short, and I had to stop out. So I think I read that situation wrong. I had a couple of doji days, but it was on low volume, and yeah, it definitely would have needed to start coming down here to believe that it was ever going to be finished. But it had this supernova extension over a couple of days here, um, coming into the election, and then a overextended gap up, and then you have a like a gap down here, big red day. So there's plenty of opportunities to play it both ways, and then that's coming into the election. It has a bounce. Um, I think I don't know why I have a green arrow there. I can't believe that I would have gone long on that. Uh, yeah, I must have had a small piece. I'm not sure, but loads going on in the market. RZLV is another one recently. A trading buddy of mine has had a real boost in his accounts growth, trading this one and a few others. We can see it's a breakout play here. So if you can kind of read it in advance, again you have these trend line situations that I've drawn here. But say even here again, um, I suppose you could say if it's it's kind of breaking out of a trend here, and it goes again. So there's different ways you can trade it and look at it, but overall, lots of opportunities. So looking at my statistics, let's have a look at, well, this is overall, which has a couple of months of paper trading in it, which I will be removing once I go back to real funds. But yeah, my win rate is overall is 42%, long trades 38%, shorts about 50-50, just over 50%. And I'm in the green on short. I'm still in the red on longs, but hopefully with the swing trading, as I said, figured out a little bit more, I can get that into the green eventually. And also when I start to size up a bit more, when I have more confidence and in my abilities. So just looking at, like, say the last let's say 90 days, which will take into account just this paper trading experience, I'm over 2 grand in profits, 60% win rate, and so my trading has improved. My identification of winning trades has improved, but it's just 2 months so far. So I need to see how this progresses over the next 3-4 months probably. Although, the more I'm seeing myself being consistent on a week to week basis, the more I'm like, I want to get into the real, making some real money here instead of this being paper. But yeah, I have to keep the long term perspective here. It's missing out on 2 or 3 grand, or say 5 grand in profits is not going to be the end of the world when I can be in a position where I can make 5 grand in profits in one trade. Once I have my consistency in there and my risk management perfected. So I want to just give myself more time here to see that I can navigate some of the um, tricky situations that are bound to present themselves. So as I said already, there's been a couple of short trades where I was pushing my luck a little, and could have ended up really with some bad losses there. So until I get a consistent period where I can and not have that happen, then I'll have to just stay paper trading. Um, but it's going in the right direction overall, and it's good to trade in a safe environment and to practice and hone and refine everything. Uh, so yeah. So if we want to look at some of my trades, we go here. Um, so Holo is a short stock. On my Profitly, I have put in a screenshot of the trade. So this is an overextended gap up. You can see it has two big days here. So it's gone kind of into a parabolic supernova move. The next day it's gapping up slightly. It does pull at the open, which can draw in short sellers, and they can get caught out thinking that this is going to come down. Understandably, they can be forgiven for that. But it squeezes back, and then um, it squeezes all the way up here, and then it pulls back. I actually got short here briefly and covered at the VWAP. So if I look at, if we just have a look at it maybe in a better my trading platform, it might just be a bit more clear. So these are the I suppose dangerous parabolic moves that I would have to stress to be cautious on, because if you get them wrong, you can really badly hurt going short. So this is the day here. Has these first green day here, and then it has this massive green day here, where it's essentially going parabolic. Then next morning it is choppy here, but it pulls and then squeezes, and then it kind of stalls out up here around $8-9. So let me see where I got in. So first I was short. I took $27 profit. I got short at 8.92 and covered at 8.38, and then I left it for a little while, and then I came back in here at and I took 150 shares overall here at about, I suppose, average 888. I think it was 888, average 890, say. Now when it's up here, it is kind of a precarious situation, because you're kind of worried, because you can see that there's potential here for this to move very fast in any direction. So you're kind of like worried if you're going to get, but you just have to set a loss and have it and stick with it. I think I may have had it at 950. In any case, it came right for me, and it rolled over here, and I started covering down here. You can see it took $35 profits, $54 profits at 771. Then I took more profits down here at the low sevens, and then the high sixes, even some as well. It actually it went into a halt down then. So this was last Tuesday. Yeah, it was New Year's Eve, and I took 3 trades on that day. So it was actually Stephen Dux who actually made a couple of million trading Holo and FFIE. So I actually thought the market was closed, and I was just turning on my platform to use some the market replay and just to watch some old market action. But then I saw the market moving. I was like, oh yeah, sure, the market's not closed today. So I just looked at my here you can go into like top movers. I just looked at what was moving, and it was like FFIE was on the radar, Holo was on it, and what was the other one? Uh, oh yeah, SVMH, I think it was called. Um, and this is the FFIE, and I got it was let me see what pattern this one was. Yeah, it's overextended gap up. So I had this another couple of days here, big days, and then it gapped up huge, big gap up here. And I'm trying to go short up around this area, which I did at 412. Just probably didn't allow enough room for this. I felt like in hindsight I should have left it at 450 my risk here, and I would have been fine. Maybe just that $half as a risk point for my short, but I got stopped out right at the top, 445, and actually the top take here was 446. So it's just marginally stopped out, which is frustrating when you see it then unwind like that and come all the way down. So this was one that Stephen Dukes made a fortune on as well. So Holo on FFIE, totaling like 2.4 million. So like there's just huge opportunities. Obviously he's in a different realm at the moment. He's using huge size. He's already established. So I'm just kind of like, but it is encouraging to kind of be on the right track as some of these top traders, and to know that you're kind of seeing the same opportunities and taking the similar trades. And so I think the other one was actually SVMH, is it? Yep, memory not too bad. Yeah, so this was a sub dollar and actually a sub dime play under 10 cents. One of these day ones, gappers again. So just these ones are, potentially very lucrative, but also potentially extremely dangerous. So you can see it gapped up here and then spiked all the way up to 84. So it went from like an opening price of 51 to 84. Like it's just a huge percentage gain. Uh, so yeah, you have to be really careful on these ones not to oversize, because they can just squeeze you so fast. And I did have to endure a bit of a squeeze here on this one. But luckily, when I started my position, I didn't oversize. So just have to go back to here. So yeah, this is the 3 minute time frame, but I started here at 61. So you can see it had come up. It was a gapper, obviously a big gapper. But I think the trick here is to note that like the pre-market action, and just note that it's capable of huge range. So when it's kind of stalling out, it's spiked here and it's kind of stalling here, but it really isn't that far from VWAP. But I'm trying to play it in here as this candle opens, say, uh, for a fade back to VWAP. But to be fair, I didn't take a large position, but I am kind of adding to it up here as it's still spiking, and then I think it could have been maybe $200 plus in the red, but I kept the faith on it and added to a total of 30,000 shares ultimately in the end. So I'm not sure where my average was. It was probably in around 7.5, and it came back in and came down quite a lot actually. But I'm taking profits, say here. As it comes down, I'm just paying myself along the way. So I took like, I think $300 plus win on that. But again, execution, not entirely pleased with it. And I'm just glad that I am not solely reliant on these day ones, because I feel like if I was to really prioritize day one and gappers and so on for shorts, it's like one of the most risky strategies in the stock market, because of the squeeze nature, the fact that these can look tame enough, maybe, to the untrained eye, and then suddenly, before you know it, you're 40% down on your 30% down on your position, 30%, and your broker gives you a margin call, or you get um, stopped out by your broker because you're out of money or something. So yeah, tread cautiously is the key message on them ones, on these day one plays and even the parabolics. So I think going forward, like I will keep a limited size on these, and when I am sizing up, the sizing up will actually be on my swing trades and breakout plays, probably my longs, and I'll err on the side of caution to the shorts on the day one. So there's other trades here. I haven't screenshotted them all here. This was a really good one. RGTI. Jack Kellogg made a lot on this one on this day going short, and I sensed the short opportunity, but I was tired and I didn't get around to getting up to my desk in time for that, and I wasn't in the right state of mind to even trade it because I was just tired, and I need to be fresh to be trading, especially, well, not only going short but also going long. But um, so as you know, I'm currently up on RGTI as explained, but a few days ago, where is it? It was it here? No, 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 no. Where is it? RGTI. So just let's look at the date. Yeah, here's me giving my credit to Jack Kellogg, one of my trading idols. Yeah, he banked big apparently on that one. The 11th of December. We're just a little bit out of the picture here. Let's do 30 minutes. Yeah, so sorry, I have to go back here. Didn't think it was that far long ago, but it was. So here is the day where it was extended for a few days, probably a few weeks actually when you think of it. This one, it's like it had come up from like the twos, um, and then it's up at the fours, it's up at the sixes, it's up at the sevens, it's up the eights, and so that's quite an extended stock, in that period. So what I did was I did think that this was going to come down on this day, after this big day here, and it's kind of coming down after pre-market a bit. I would have liked to have gone short if I was fresh in around pre-market, started in, and it just dumps down a big time. But sensing the opportunity for a panic dip buy, I figured I would try and get in around the 6 area for a bounce, and that's what I did. So I was really pleased with that. I'm just taking advantage of the pattern, panic dip buy. So I had about 300 shares in total at 602. Locked some in at 628 and locked a few more shares in 653, 663 and 673, but they go even higher, went to 750, so I could have probably held a piece there on that, but a win's a win, happy with that. So yeah, and as I said, it's gone into another consolidation phase, and I've anticipated this breakout play here, which has worked out so far in my favor. So that's just the flavor of my trading, and these are the Bitcoin plays that I mentioned. CLSK, All Riot was the one that I didn't lock in time, but overall it was a good learning experience to kind of play the Bitcoin itself. So like I can check the Bitcoin price here on this platform, and I was just keeping an eye on it and seeing like, okay, well, if it's going to break $100,000, it's going to bring some of these um, uh, sector stocks with it. So it's in around here that I was trading these, but it's kind of it's holding up here in around the 90s. I'm not surprised by that. I think it should build back up here and eventually make for new highs. Could take a couple of months. Could be a situation like here. Uh, it's just kind of it makes it surge, and then it kind of, okay, there's a big pullback here. It pulls back to 50. So there's nothing to say that this might not pull back here and test the lows again here at 75,000. So yeah, I wouldn't be extremely excited about going long here, but like you could go long in and around here and just risk off the lows here. Anyway, this was the so it's riot, as I said, and then there was, where's the other one? It's riot, CLSK, and BTBT. Okay, so fair enough. That's the Bitcoin. I thought there was another one that I took as well, but I can't remember. I must have stopped out earlier on it. So you can see is first green day. Yeah, it's one of my rare long wins. Parabolic CTOR. Yeah, yeah, just another just parabolic move here. It's day 2, so it runs big, and I'm getting short. Probably started here thinking I was going to be a lower high, and then luckily it wasn't full size that I started on, and oh yeah, I got stopped out. That's what the blurb is telling me there. And yeah, I got short again here, and then took advantage of the pullback. So somebody is like to just run big and then pull back a lot after they've gone kind of manic. It's just momentum traders chasing them, and yeah, there are some traders on the momentum traders who are able to make money just quick hyper scalping them in and out. But that's certainly not my style. Um, I would normally not choose that approach. So I feel like you can get burnt out quickly using that approach, but it just all depends on the person. So that's that one. So how do I go back? Yep. PRZO short. Yeah, this is another overextended gap up play. This one. Here you can see it's had this huge green day here, and then the next day here, it's gapped up, surges here, and I went short somewhere around here, 213 and 187. I was about to pull the trigger just here on in around the 2, but the action was very choppy on this one. I hesitated long enough for it to just drop really fast, so I missed it. But I was able to cover the rest of my shares from my initial position. Yeah, like somebody, there's certainly nothing ideal about this setup. It's very, very dangerously choppy, but I was able to make some money on it. So overall, yeah, like what I've learned of late is my style. I feel like I've jumped a lot from going long to going short, and like trying to figure out what am I? Am I a short seller? Am I a long trader? I am a bit of both. I like shorting the parabolic moves, the day ones, but I'm trying to veer away from that as being my main focus, like I said. And I'm going to try and develop my long game, swing trades, breakouts, hot sector momentum, trades like that. And I can trade short those plays as well, and when they kind of get overextended, or when they're gapping down, overextended gap downs, and so on. But yeah, overall it's been a decent couple of months trading, and long may it continue. And you know, if you look at my my profit chart, um, it's heading in the right direction. Even though this, as I say, since I got back here, it's been paper, but I'm bringing it in the right direction. So it's really encouraging, and let's see if I can get this over into all-time highs for myself, and at that point I will be much closer to getting back to real money. Maybe drop a couple of grand into an account and hopefully grow it, and that'll be me all the way to a million. So that's the target, that's the greater goal here. uh, so yeah, that's everything. So thanks a lot, and hopefully I will be reporting some good news at the end of this month. Um, Pretty happy so far, where I've kind of settled into kind of a bit more of steadiness. Um, there's just no need to ever let your emotions get the better of you in trading, because there's just countless opportunities. And I think it's a case where in the beginning you don't trust that you can spot those opportunities, and that you kind of get this FOMO, fear of missing out, and you allow frustration from your like lack of skill, I suppose, to to um to get the better of you, and you end up kind of trading in a wrong frame of mind, where you're kind of chasing back losses, revenge trading your P&L. You're like looking at like what you lost on your last trade and trying to make it up on this trade. I mean, each trade is a standalone situation. There should be no bearing on what happened in the previous trade on your next trade, except what you're learning about the market itself. But in terms of the psychology and the emotions, like, that should not be impacting how you trade the next trade. You can always use previous trades to impact your subsequent trades, but you're supposed to be using it in the right way. You're not supposed to be um, allowing it to kind of take a hold of you emotionally and kind of warp everything. It should be just clear cut, logical thinking, and that's how you are supposed to take the trade. And you can see, oh, the last trade I didn't take my profits in a certain setup, and then the next time I'm gonna like allow hold a piece, or I'm gonna maybe take a larger size and allow it to run longer or so on. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's you're using the previous. It's like a football player, like he has a chance, and he maybe took too long. He took two touches when he should have just taken first touch and shoot. Um, the next time he's like, okay, well, that happens again. I'm just going to take one touch and shoot. And so it's just about like learning from every little thing, and just trying to. You're never going to be, I don't think, ever fully in tune with the market, but you're always trying to just kind of tag along and stay and follow the kind of rhythm of the market. Um, and trying to get a feel for like what's where are people at, like are they wanting to buy more Bitcoin, or is it a time now where to just hold off on buying more Bitcoin and see what happens next, and see if it gets into a dip and you want to buy it, or wait for it to break out and then you can buy it again, or you can trade consolidation as well, like I was saying. But I'm just using an example, like, but like these other trades, like this hot sector, the quantum sector, the AI sector, and the Bitcoin sector. And it's like where is it at the moment in that? Like, is there more upside here, or is that it? Is that the move here on RZLV, uh, which is in the AI sector, I believe, or is this gonna like just fade off and roll back down and come back in another few months? So it's trying to gather like, well, where is everyone at on this? What's it at? Obviously, you just watch the price action and the volume as well. Um, but yeah, um, so yeah, I mean, if we're just looking at this one for example, I mean, there is a very good chance that this goes higher beyond 5 and continues. It's the AI sector, and I think it's released some good news recently. I'm not quite up to speed on this particular ticker, but yeah, I think we're in a decent market environment at the moment. There's plenty of stocks moving, and there's a couple of good hot sectors. Like I said, the quantum sector. So we've got like RGTI, which I'm trading long at the moment, swinging, and then you have like QUBT. So you can see the move this has made. Here is that's like a beautiful breakout here, past 925, and then it just goes on a 3-day bender here to the 26th. So I'm hoping that RGTI does something like this actually. So if we're looking at RGTI, which is in a similar sector, um, I'm hoping that we get this couple of 2-3 day bender that goes into the high 20s, and yeah, so if I'm looking at QBT, just want to see like in terms of shorting opportunity. Yeah, you see there's a chance here overstand the gap down. It is a pretty big gap down, so sometimes you expect this to kind of bounce up here, and then but this one just like fails straight from the open. Um, but there's opportunities, and then there's a bounce day. So it's here. Yeah, you can see it kind of spikes pre-market, has that, and then it fails. Oh no, sorry, that's real market hours. So yeah, I think some of that is pre-market. Well, it spikes at the open, and then must have opened right there in around here, and then it comes down. So like there's opportunity short, long, any which way on these ones. Uh, oh no, I was looking at the wrong day. It's here. Yeah, so I'm right. It kind of had this surge and the open pre-market, and then it kind of fails, and then it opens here and just dumps. So like you could be getting short pre-market if you're anticipating that this is kind of had its run, pulls back, and offers a good opportunity for a good short, and then it comes down quite a bit, and so it's bouncing back here. First green day bounce potential here, and where are we at now? Consolidation, so to speak. Hasn't made its mind up what it wants to do yet, but the fact that it's hanging around leads me to believe that there is a chance that this, barring any bad news in the sector or something, it could actually start going a bit higher. We'll see. So main thing is I'm riding high on RGTI. I'll leave it there. Thanks very much for tuning in.